the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome in another Garnet Trust Interview Tuesday, 107.5 The Game. Got a very special guest that we're about to get to know a little bit. South Carolina running back Mario Anderson making his radio debut here today. Mario, I really appreciate you taking the time, man. Gamecocks bye week this week. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me for everything. It's a blessing to be here, so I appreciate you for allowing me to come do this.
Yeah, man, we're excited to get to know you a little bit, excited to talk about your season so far, and to talk about the bye week as well. One thing we'd like to do is just give the fans a little bit of the behind the scenes of what you guys are up to on a day-to-day basis. And obviously bye week, a little bit different schedule for y'all this week. But I guess let's start, man. I want to start with last week against Mississippi State. Mm-hmm. There's a pretty cool video of you in the locker room. You got a game ball from Coach Beamer. I saw the quote on SEC Network. They said that, you said you were going to put that ball in your mantle. It seemed like it meant a lot to you to have that moment and kind of break onto the scene a little bit, man. So I guess, first of all, what was it like kind of getting going on the field against Mississippi State, starting to develop a little rhythm, and then have it pay off with getting that game ball from Coach Beamer in the locker room?
Yes, sir, for sure. I feel like that game, it was kind of like my debut game, my coming out game. The coaches and my teammates, they put their trust and faith in me to be able to run the ball. And credit to the O-line because it was a tough physical game that day. I believe I had 26 touches. We had about 38 total, something like that, around there, roughly. Mm-hmm. So it was a very physical game up front, and I wouldn't be able to do it without those guys. So especially the touchdown, they was able to pile up and push me in there. But just being able to have that trust and faith from my teammates and my coaches and me, the game ball from Coach Beamer, that meant a lot, So I appreciate that, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to showcase my talent and to be able to go out there and compete every day.
You kind of read my mind because I wanted to talk about that touchdown run. It felt like at times this was kind of an old-school SEC football game against Mississippi State. Y'all are kind of pounding away at them, and then I thought that was kind of an exclamation point for the whole night. Toss sweep, that's an old-school football run in the first place. You got your linemen out front. You run through a couple of guys, then the kind of best part is they kind of give you that little push at the end, and everybody just goes falling into the end zone. I know you kind of you had a great reaction when it happened as well. What was going through your mind with like 80,000 people going crazy and you're celebrating with your teammates? What was that exact moment like for you at Williams-Brice Stadium?
Sure. I mean, my best plays that I can think of, my mind go blank, really. I don't really remember much. I just know, like, before that play, before that drive, really going to the fourth quarter, Coach Hardesty, he gave me that look like, like I had to finish the job. And it would be a disgrace if, I didn't go out there and display that to everyone or even prove it to myself that I could do that. And with the help of my teammates, like I said, trusting me and believing me and putting that faith in me to go score, it was pretty big. Yeah, it was a good feeling. It was a pretty big moment, not only for myself, but it was a huge confident booster for the offense. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know Coach Hardesty. He always tells us he has kind of these comparisons for the different running backs for y'all's skill sets, and I think from what he's told us, he's cut up is it NFL tape that he has y'all watch during the offseason for various guys. I asked him right before the season, this was preseason, about his comparison for the different guys, and he said, man, Mario Anderson, he's an old-school SEC back. He actually compared you to Emmitt Smith. I don't know if he's cut that up and let you watch it or not, but what have you looked through the tape of Emmitt Smith, I guess, this preseason, or who did he?
Of course. Yeah. Growing up, my Uncle Sam, that's all I used to do, watch guys like him, Marshawn Lynch, Derrick Henry, like Adrian Peterson, like that's all I did was just study old school backs, Eddie George. Like that's what I do. So if people kind of laugh at me because my thigh pads and my knee pads isn't the small pads, it's the real big pads like how back in the day. And that's just my swag. That's how I like it. And I feel as though that's my niche.
Yeah, so you get that honest. So you legitimately have watched those guys and kind of what do you take away? What stands out about those guys that, for one, you like, and two, that you've kind of taken into your own game? Obviously, I think like the toughness, the physicality, and all that is pretty apparent. But is that a mindset you kind of have to have on the field?
Yes, I believe so. All of those guys had a kill mentality, had a physical mentality, and just being able to convert that to my game, being able to, trust my instincts and everything, trust my training, like Coach Mo and them say, and just run hard every play, give it all I can, fall forward, get positive yards and everything. And I try to do what those guys did because that's what I came up on.
For sure, man. So it seems like the last couple of games you've been really getting settled in. Obviously, your opportunities have gone up as well, but you've been taking advantage of those opportunities on the field. So what has this transition been like for you? Just, getting in, starting to get acclimated to SEC ball and just practice and the workouts and all that stuff. When you kind of go back to when you first got here, how has the transition been? Has it been kind of what you expected, a little bit different, or what can you tell the fans about what that was like, kind of going from Newberry to South Carolina?
From coming from Newberry, South Carolina, I knew it was going to be a jump, but that's why I challenged myself to be able to make that jump. I didn't come in here with any expectations of anything of any sort. All I knew was for myself that I had to come here and work hard every day, whether that was in the film room, in the weight room, no matter what it was, I knew I had to put my best foot forward. And some days it was, better than others. And I grew a lot just in these, 9-10 months for me being here since January. It's been a blessing to be able to come here and Coach Mo be able to strip down my game and rebuild me, not only as a player, but as a man. And I'm blessed to have the opportunity to work with him and work with Coach Beamer and Coach Loggins and everybody and be around the guys to mold me into an SEC back.
What is it like on a day-to-day being around Coach Mo? Like, for one, he looks like he could maybe still play. Like, I know, I don't know, has he thrown on the tape for you all to watch him from back in the day?
We put the tape on a couple of times. Yes, sir. We put the tape on a couple of times.
What'd you think?
He was smooth back then. He was smooth. He was a downhill runner. I believe they fed him a lot, too, especially like his senior year. I think he ran for over 1,300 yards. So, when I came to South Carolina, when I committed, Coach Mo was about 80% of the reason why I came here. He played in the SEC, played in the league, a place that I have dreams and aspirations to go. His knowledge and IQ for the game is very high. And I knew that I could have learned a lot from him, and I still do. And I don't just look at him as a coach. I look at him as my mentor, you know what I'm saying? A person, a father figure and stuff like that, So Coach Mo, he's really elevated not only my game but my life, and I appreciate that.
You saw his spin move on tape? He's got a nice little spin move. He also, I feel like, brings the energy every day. Is that?
Most definitely does. Yes, sir.
What is that like to have a guy that just kind of, I know he's going to be serious when you got to be serious, but I feel like it would be nice on some days. Maybe you come in, maybe you've had a long day or something, just having a guy that brings the energy to the room every time.
That's every day. Every day. His biggest thing is details and competing every day. He don't like to lose. That's one thing he really installed, especially in the running back room. We don't like to lose. And it's just competing every day in the small details with him, very small details, because it's a game of inches, as he say, and the little things can make or break a game.
You bring up the running back room. How do you feel like you guys have kind of, got to know each other in the last 9 months, helped each other? It's kind of interesting. You transferred in to carry on, moved positions into the running back room. Then, DJ Braswell comes in. He's a true freshman. So how do you feel like that room has kind of gelled together as you obviously are competing for playing time, but you all, I'm sure, want the best for each other as well?
Most definitely. The guys in the room, I can honestly say it's no hate or anything like that. I go into work every day confident, not only in my ability, but, in DK and Juju and Braswell and the other guys, we all compliment each other in a way, And the very first thing that was said amongst us as men, as a running back room before camp even started was, we're not going to listen to the outside noise. We don't care what's going on. We're going to compete every day, but at the same time, we're going to lift each other up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be times where, one guy may pop, you know what I'm saying, and someone else may not, you know, but as long as we keep striving for greatness as a whole, I feel confident enough coming off to the sideline and asking DK or Juju, hey, how my rep had looked, or vice versa. They can come to me and ask, and we all give each other honest feedback, you know, and I feel like that was the biggest thing to make us gel together and really grow. And I'm blessed to be able to be in a room with guys like these guys, to be honest.
And team players, it also seems like from the outside looking in, y'all all have little different skill sets. Like y'all aren't the same player. Do you kind of like the versatility of the room?
That's how I do. I believe we can put all of us anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Out as a receiver in the backfield or anything you want us to do. But all of us have a different skill set, and I feel like that's very dangerous.
What I guess as far as just you personally coming in, I know you said you've grown a lot in the 9 months you've been here. Just on the field, has there been any particular area that you and the coaches have kind of been focused on as far as your improvement? I know everybody just wants to get better in general, get more comfortable, I'm sure, with the offensive scheme when you first got here. But has there been any particular area of focus for you?
My whole game, like I said, Coach Mo, he stripped my whole game down. You know, all the little tendencies that I once knew before. You know, he's made me a complete back. I feel like, you know, my biggest thing was pass blocking, and you know, how to read my keys and stuff like that. And Coach Mo, he's really took the time to mold me into a better back and a more developed back. And you know, not only me, but all the guys in the room. You know, Coach Mo does a good job of explaining the small, finer details and why we're doing what we're doing and how to do it and how to execute it at a high level. You know, and I'm, like I said, I keep saying this. I'm blessed and fortunate enough to have Coach Mo as my coach and as my mentor.
All right, like I said, we're hanging out in studio with Mario Anderson. We'll be right back on the other side. We're going to ask him about that big, long 75-yard run in Knoxville. Garnet Trust Hour on 107.5 The Game.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back in 107.5 The Game. Garnet Trust Hour, hanging out in studio. Mario Anderson, South Carolina running back, making his radio debut. Not bad first segment, right? Like pretty smooth.
Yes,
we did
yes,
okay.
Sir. Everything good.
Everything's good. We're going to keep this thing rolling. So we were talking before we came on air. You said, man, I had a lot of long runs my previous stop too. So, but was it nice to maybe show the Gamecock fans the speed?
Yes, sir.
The top end speed. What did you think when you saw that hole open up, the 75-yarder against Tennessee? Looked like, I think Vershawn had a good block on that play.
Most definitely.
I think Gargiulo kind of sealed off his guy. Mm-hmm. They opened it up, and then you hammered that hole. So
yes,
what did you think? Do you remember what was going through your head, or was it another one of those moments like you were talking about earlier where you're just like, I don't really know what was going through my head?
Yeah, at first, you know, just before the play broke, you know, just being able to read the defense and seeing how they'll line up and how, you know, the secondary guys were flowing. You know, credit to them, there's a great defense, most importantly, great team. But just how they was flowing and everything, and just knowing that I was going to have to read my keys, where I was going to hit it at, where I was going to read, and just after I seen a hole and just able to drive my knees, it was lights out for me. You know, next thing I remember, I was in the end zone, you know, celebrating with my coach and my teammates and everything. So
yeah. So did you know when you saw the hole and that there wasn't anybody with an angle on you that you were probably going to the house? Like at what point did you kind of know, all right, I'm going all the way with this? Do you remember?
Once I cleared it.
Yeah. Once you cleared it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That was obviously an awesome moment. Kind of, I thought might be a chance to get back into this game at that time. What, like you said, I mean, that was a really good Tennessee team, I thought. Good Tennessee front. Great atmosphere to play in, I'm sure, even though it was, you know, on the other side for them. But what has it been like playing in, you know, the home SEC atmosphere here at South Carolina, playing on the road at Tennessee, you know, playing at Georgia? I mean, that's big time football, man. What has that been like to experience all those different, you know, arenas, basically?
Well, coming from D2, you know, it's no more than like, you know, 2,000 people in the stands, if that, you know, maybe a little bit more. But, you know, just every game just feels like a Super Bowl to me, you know. And I'm blessed and fortunate enough to have the opportunity to even be able to showcase my talent on a stage like this. Because I remember just last year playing at Newberry, you know, after the games on the bus on the way back, used to watch college football. Like, we used to pull up the games. Like, hey, man, like, we want to see what South Carolina doing, or what team that's playing is doing. And just, dang, man, I know I can be there one day, you know. So that's the biggest thing. And I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed, you know what I'm saying, Coach Beamer gave me the opportunity to showcase my talent on a big stage like that. But after a while, when you just playing, it's like the crowd isn't even there, really. You know, it's playing football at the end of the day. So I'm a firm believer of that.
You rushed for like 3,000 and something yards, I think, at Newberry.
Yes,
so I think that was top 5 all-time career at Newberry. What did your experience there do to maybe prepare you for this step here at South Carolina, you think?
There's most definitely a lot of trials and tribulations, I believe. Just like I grew here, I came in as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old boy. I left, you know what I'm saying, 21 years old, you know. And Coach Knight, he really helped me in my transition coming from high school to Newberry and stuff like that. And it was a learning curve, most definitely. Just being able to play college ball. I'm thankful enough to go through those trials and tribulations and journeys, though. You know, I believe it molded me to the person I am today.
We've interviewed a lot of guys who have gone through the transfer portal process, and it's been a little bit different for pretty much everybody. I got to imagine there's a little bit of like, man, I'm going in the portal. I have no idea who's going to call me, who's going to DM me, like who's going to be interested. So for you being, you know, a Palmetto State guy, an in-state guy, what was that process like to hit the portal? Then you hear from South Carolina, you know, kind of if you want to take the people out there kind of through how it went down. What was it like to hear from the Gamecocks? I know you took a visit here, and what kind of just led you to wanting to play here in Columbia, man?
Just starting off from the portal point of view. Just I talked to my mom, my dad about it. My grandma, I call her my nana, and my Uncle Sam. Talked to them, my family, my brothers, and just prayed about it and stuff like that. And, you know, like I stated before, I just want to challenge myself. It was not necessarily that went wrong at Newberry or anything like that. I still talk to the guys there, and, you know, I still wish them success and everything like that. But, you know, I just want to challenge myself more as a running back, as an athlete, you know. So I decided to stick my nose out there and see what I could get, you know. I didn't think I was going to get any Power 5 offers, you know, and I'm blessed to have that and any other offer that I had. But just, you know, I was talking to my high school coach, Denny McDaniel, on the phone one day, and I was telling him, I'm like, man, Coach Beamer want me to come up to USC, like, they haven't thrown an offer or anything like that. I was like, what do you think that mean, you know? So he's like, man, just go up there, just see how it is, enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? So I went up here, you know, I seen, I believe they was doing a bowl practice at that time before they went to see Notre Dame. But after bowl practice and stuff, because Beamer put me in his office, you know, we was chopping up and stuff, and just asked me, like, how I felt about playing here at University of South Carolina, you know. I wanted to tell him right then I'm coming, you know, but, you know, I decided, I thought about it a little bit on the way back, because I actually came up here with my trainer, Jamie Fordham. He's at Goose Creek High School. I was on the way back with him, and just walking back to the car, you know, it was, I remember the day like it was yesterday. I'm sorry, but, you know, I shed a tear, you know, because all the hard work, all the adversity that I faced and everything, and just being able to see it through, and being able to be blessed and fortunate enough to have opportunity from Coach Beamer to take a kid from Division II. You know, he could easily pick up somebody from Power 5, Group of 5, anything like that, but he decided to take a chance and take a leap on me to leap from D2 to the SEC, the highest level of college football, you know, and I did shed a tear, you know, and I thank the grace of God for that, for putting me in position to accept this journey, to embrace the culture and everything that South Carolina embodies, and, you know, I'm forever grateful for that.
So you, how long? I know you said internally you kind of knew once he offered that this is probably where I'm going to be. But how long did you wait before did you call Coach Beamer later on and give him the word, or when did you kind of say, hey, Coach, I'm in. Do you remember that moment?
I believe so. I know Coach Hardesty is like, man, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? I know Coach Hardesty like, what you waiting on? And I told him, I'm gonna be a Gamecock. I'm gonna come, and my family was excited. Everybody was on board and everything, and just being able to have my family from South Carolina, because that's where I'm from, and all my people and friends and everything, just be able to see me come here. It's a blessing. I'm very blessed, and I'm very thankful for everything that's come my way.
You're not only learning from Coach Hardesty, but you mentioned Coach Loggins a little bit earlier, a guy that's been in the NFL for many, many years. And, I feel like this is a scheme that does have some NFL elements to it as well. So how, as a running back like yourself, how important or how nice, how good is that, you think, for your future to be kind of getting comfortable with concepts and ideas, probably terminology as well, that I would imagine kind of is going to carry over to that next level that I know everybody wants to ultimately make the jump to?
Yes, sir. I feel like Coach Loggins, he threw a lot at me, not only him, just all the coaches. They threw a lot at everybody, and I feel like the scheme and everything that he came in with and stuff, I wasn't used to it, coming from where I came from and stuff. Not to discredit where I came from, but it was like it was more of a NFL feel. Just like every day I practice is more of an NFL feel, and just everything we do. Coach Loggins, he really helped me because he expanded my game, expanded my mind. Like, okay, you can't only be a bruising back. You know what I'm saying? This is new age, especially in NFL. So I had to pass block. I had to go out and catch routes. I had to, learn all these different things to help me not only be a running back, but an athlete on the field. And especially with having number 7 in the backfield, Spence, you got to be able to have all those tools in your arsenal to be able to play and be able to go to the next level. So I'm very thankful for Coach Loggins being able to push me and, mold me into a person I am as well. He's a vital role into my, career as well, I believe.
I do. I want to talk about what it's like to share the backfield with 7, with Spencer Rattler. Mario Anderson, again, continuing our conversation here. Garnet Trust Hour, we'll talk a little bit about number 7, Spencer Rattler. We'll be right back here at 107.5 The Game.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. 107.5 The Game, Garnet Trust Hour. Mario Anderson, running back, South Carolina. We're hanging out in studio. You brought up 7, Spencer Rattler. NFL arm, if I ever saw one, man. Like, this guy's got all the traits you look for. What is it like to practice every day and then to go into a game knowing you got a guy like that kind of breaking the huddle with you, man?
I want to say, first off, Spence is, no disrespect to anybody, but Spencer is the greatest quarterback that I've ever played with. Spence's mind, he's very militant when it comes to game and how he prepares and everything. Like, for example, breaking the Tennessee huddle, for example. He would do this thing where, when the clock is winding down from, like, the TV commercial break or whatnot, I can see it winding down, all of us in the huddle. He'll look back and come in the huddle, and it's like he has this look in his eyes where it's like he wants to win. Spencer's a winner, and he's a competitor, and I love being around him. I love learning from him. I love asking him questions and just what is it that he wants, you know what I'm saying? Because it's his show, you know what I'm saying? The quarterback is a general, and that is what Spencer is. Spencer is a general, and I'm forever grateful to be beside him, playing with him and stuff like that on the field. So I'm very thankful for that.
Do you kind of talked about it a little bit a second ago, but do you also kind of have to have your head on a swivel in terms of being ready for an outlet pass or something, knowing, like, I feel like Spencer's ability to get away from pressure is very underrated. Coach Loggins, even Mississippi State game, he gave in the press conference, you and Spencer a ton of credit for that one play. You probably remember Spencer was about to get taken down, and he kind of just shrugged the guy off, and then he flipped the ball out to you, to the right sideline. And Spencer, he was getting hit. He flips it out to you. You, I think, break a tackle, and basically the play went from this is either a no gain or or a sack to being keeping the staying on schedule. Basically, it's now second and short instead of second and long. So what do you remember from that play? Because I know Coach Loggins was like, this was a key play to kind of keep our chains moving, basically.
Most definitely.
And just in general, with Spencer, it seems like kind of staying in tune to where he is, and is he extending a play? I would think that's kind of an underrated aspect of your job as a running back, I would think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Spence, he can definitely flee the scene. You know, he can definitely get out of there, and his feet is very dangerous as well. And like you said, it is underrated, but I don't think much people respect the fact that he can move on his feet, you know, and keep plays going. That's something that he does, you know, a lot of. People talk about his arm and what he can do, throwing the ball and stuff, but Spence is very great at escaping. You know, he's an escape artist, and that's another key to his game.
You were talking about kind of being a complete back and kind of the pass pro elements of this as well. How do you feel like that process has been kind of playing? I know pass pro for NFL running backs is a huge part of the equation, I think. How do you feel like that part of your game has kind of been coming along in the last 9 months as well?
From January to now, it's a big difference. It really is. I still have a lot of work to do. Coach Hardesty, he emphasizes it every single day. I still have a lot of work to do, but you know, I've came a long way from being able to pass block, using my hands, moving the power, the stuff that is necessary for not even only a running back, just anyone that blocks in general. You know what I'm saying? Being able to do. So I still have a long way to go, but I definitely came a long way from where I was as well.
He harps on it with you guys a lot every day?
Yes, sir, most definitely.
What is it? I guess y'all don't really maybe do a lot of ones versus ones during the season, maybe as much as you do during the preseason, but what has it been like since you've been here kind of knocking heads with some guys like, Debo Williams? I know he's a hitter, Stone Blanton, the young guy, Pup Howard. It would seem like that's probably beneficial for both sides, kind of the physicality of those guys and most the physicality of you, man.
Most definitely. A guy like Debo, for example, what he shows on the field, he shows it at practice. You know, it's all gas, no brakes with him. Debo is, I believe Debo also helped me become an SEC back with, you know what I'm saying, the way I had to practice and go against a guy like him every day, you know, because Debo is going to bring it, you know what I'm saying, whether you're ready for it or not, Debo is going to bring it. So just being able to practice with him and how his mindset is and how he approaches practice, film, and everything from a defensive point of view, it's like, okay, me on offense going against him, how can I not be prepared and be ready to face a guy like that every day, you know? So it makes everyone better in a sense, you know?
Headhunter, man. That's what I always think of with him. Like, he, I guess some of y'all, or he's got the football guy shirt. I think of Debo, like when I think football guy, Debo Williams, I feel like is just the guy.
Most definitely. Stone Bland, Pup Howard, all those guys like Bam Martin Scott, like those guys are dogs. Those guys are dogs, and I love going against them. Ones and competing drills with them every single day. It's a fight every day. It's physical every day.
Coach, been crazy workouts. Like it seems like. Well, you tell me. Is it different than any of the kind of workout programs or regimens that you had before? Most
definitely, Coach Day workouts are unorthodox.
That's the word. That's the word I needed.
That's the word. But it help you have a sense of grit. Coach Day workouts, you know, it have you have a sense of grit, have you have a sense of urgency, and you know, it's like it's a get it done kind of mentality. Like, we're gonna be gritty, we're gonna be physical, we're gonna be tough. Like, it's no room for anything else, you know. And that's something that Coach Day pushes out to us as well. You know, is if you're not the stuff that we embody in our culture and everything, you know, this ain't that. Coach Day is going to secure that.
I saw. I can't remember if it was the end of spring or if it was a summer thing. I think it was end of spring. Didn't he have y'all digging up water pails or concrete or something? Can you tell the fans a little bit about that? I know I saw there were some videos online, but is that grit night or?
Yes, sir. That was grit night. Yes, sir.
What was that experience like? Were y'all in teams? Like, were y'all in separate out into teams, and then I feel like y'all had to carry a bunch of stuff to the stadium. You had to dig it up and carry it to the stadium. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We were split up in twos. Everyone had a partner. We was digging, and at the bottom we had to dig it out, wherever it was at the bottom, and then take it to a stadium and stuff. But it was different little phases. It's not as simple as just digging, picking something up, and taking it to a stadium. Coach Day had a plan for that activity for Grit Night. Everything meant something. Whether it was digging, whether it was carrying, whether it was tossing it, whatever it is. Coach Day had a plan for it and a meaning for it, and I apply that stuff to my life. And I feel like Coach Day does a great job of not only the stuff with football and strength and conditioning, but you can apply it to life. And I feel that's the biggest thing with his workouts and stuff.
I feel like everything is a functional strength. Like it's not just, all right, we're going to throw 500 pounds and go just squat, kind of old school. It seems like everything he does kind of has a purpose. It's almost like, I've been to a couple of his demos that he does. And, for the fans out there, it's like, you got to crawl before you can walk, and you got to walk before you can run. It's like everything has kind of a baseline purpose, and then you kind of build from that. Which has got to be, I think, a unique approach, but it obviously works. And I always think it's interesting, especially the transfer guys that come in and have been in a college lift program at just, all different places. And all of them are like, hey, this is the most unique
it is
lifts I've ever been a part of, basically.
It is.
All right, we're going to take another break. He is Mario Anderson. We're going to close this thing out here in a second. Garnet Trust Hour, 107.5 The Game. Y'all stay right there.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. We got Mario Anderson hanging out in studio, South Carolina running back. This is the Garnet Trust Hour, 107.5 The Game, presented by Garnet Trust, as always. Go to GarnetTrust.com if you want to support student athletes like Mario here, who is hanging out, giving us a little behind the scenes. So, Mario, we always like to let the people know the players a little bit off the field. So we're going to let them get to know you a little bit. Let's talk food.
Okay.
It's always an easy conversation. Everybody likes to talk about food, man. Okay. When I said the word food, what popped in your head? What was the first type of food that just...
My mama and my nana, red rice, greens, cabbage, pot roast, macaroni, just old Southern cooking, cornbread. I love all that. I love soul food.
That's the go-to there?
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you do any cooking yourself, or do you leave that to the family?
Nah, I do a little bit of cooking.
Okay.
My mama, she raised 4 boys, so she taught us how to do a little bit of something.
Okay, so what were the big for your family? What were the big meal? Thanksgiving, Christmas. Were you Sunday lunch every Sunday, or kind of how? When would the family like really bust out the full spread? From what you remember.
Holidays for sure. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. Holidays for sure, but just we heavily in the church as well, especially my grandmother and stuff. So after church and stuff, we would come home, have everything laid out, cooked out, and stuff like that. And we would just eat like that as a family and stuff. Or just sometimes throughout the week, my mom would cook everything. Even if it wasn't the biggest meal, she still, my mom and my grandma, my nana, they cooked a lot.
Awesome, man. So now, obviously, from a football standpoint, nutrition and kind of getting the right types of foods in your body and stuff like that, how big of an emphasis has that been for you here at South Carolina? I know the nutrition program here is very good, but has that driven you to kind of do a little bit of cooking on your own as well, or do you kind of just lean on that nutrition staff that they have over there at the ops building?
Miss Jen, Mr. Yemi, Mr. Nelson, and everybody that helps with the nutrition staff does a real good job. I've lost a lot of like my jello fat that I had, just from eating how I wanted to, where I was at and stuff like that. Really be able to lean up and look the part, and credit to them because they helped me do that. With everything that we eat and the carbs and stuff like that. Like they emphasize carbs, so. I'm really thankful for that, they really help me mold my body in a certain way.
So staying off the field a little bit here, if you're not, let's talk about kind of your hobbies. If you're not playing football, not working out, so it can't do anything to do with football. What are you doing in your free time? What do you kind of enjoy when you do get? I know y'all don't get a ton of free time this time of year, but when you do get some free time, what are you getting into?
I cut hair.
Okay.
Yeah, I cut the guys' hair. I cut my own hair. Right now I look a little rough, but I do cut hair. I learned from my Uncle Jazz going into my freshman year at Newberry. Yeah, that summer going into my freshman year is when I learned how to cut hair from him and just YouTube videos and stuff like that and just practicing.
Cool. So you must like it. You must love it.
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir.
How many of the guys on the team right now are your clients? Like, how many of them are you cutting their hair?
A good bit. A lot of them, they got their own personal barber, which is cool. I don't trip about that, but they'll come to me every now and then. But I cut a lot of guys here. I actually got to cut like 2 heads a day. So
okay,
yes,
right after this, or you already did it?
Right after this.
Okay,
yes, sir.
That is cool, man. So you also just kind of kept building that skill, looking at YouTube and just trial and error too. I'm sure, just kind of that's awesome, man. So I guess do you have like a cut that you do that is your forte, I guess, or you just kind of do you let whoever you're cutting kind of tell you what they want and then you knock it out, basically?
Yeah, just like when you go to the barber shop, you tell the barber, hey, I want a ball fade, keep the beard thick, stuff like that, whatnot, just let them tell me and I do it.
Awesome, man. Is that something you want to like continue doing?
Yes, sir, it is. I believe when I'm done with my career, no matter when it is, I believe I'm going to own a barbershop and, have my own business.
Awesome, man. That is a cool skill. I don't think we've had that one yet. We've had some different unique skills. We have not had that one yet. I also wanted to talked about the atmospheres at the different stadiums a little bit before, but what has it been like just kind of being around Gamecock Nation, like the South Carolina fan base, and just obviously they are passionate as they can be. I thought even the Furman game, not like a huge opponent coming in here, is packed, lights are, light shows going, fans were in it. Mississippi State game, great atmosphere as well. I know at some point it's just football and you just go play, but
yes, sir.
What is that like to run out to do the entrance with the lights and the fans and just kind of be in that moment?
Yes, sir. Gamecock fans are amazing. It's the best fans in the country, honestly. And I'm glad to be here and experience that kind of love and excitement from you all, but they that's what I can say about it. They're crazy. They're enthusiastic about the program and what we do and how we do it and stuff, and just being able to run out and I try to look at it as it may be that one kid or one person, and this may be the only game that they can come to that year or years to be, and just being able to see the excitement and joy in their face. Like, that put a smile on my heart. A smile on my face, and just being able to see that, it's a pretty good feeling.
Well, there may be a kid in the stands watching you run now. They might be 15 years from now, 10 years from now, they might be in the same position you are.
Most definitely.
You never know what kid out there you might inspire, as well. So definitely a cool place for you and your teammates to all be in, a great opportunity for all of you. So kind of moving forward, we're 5 games in, bye week this week. What does the bye week look like for you all? I think Coach Beamer said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice, then maybe a little bit of time to reset. What does it look like for y'all during the bye week?
I'm not going to go too in-depth about it. I'm going to leave that to Coach Beamer and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I will say, especially like for the running backs and stuff like that, we're working on the smaller details, working on, what we need to do to improve our game, to help the offense as a whole and stuff. So, anything else as far as like scheme and what we're doing and stuff,
Yeah.
I'll leave that to Coach Beamer and all those guys. But, just the finer details and, what works for us, I can say.
Well, will it be good to just get a little bit of a reset just physically, or are you the guys just like, hey, I'd rather just keep on rolling and play every single weekend?
Anytime you have a chance to reset and get your body healthy and get your body right, especially the guys who are banged up and everything. Well, everyone is banged up, but the guys who may have a little bit more of a serious injury and stuff like that, just to have that extra week of preparation and having a body ready and stuff like that, it's always good to have that. So bye week or not, must take advantage of taking care of your body, and that's something that even Coach Mo emphasizes every day. Like, take care of your body. Take care of your body. It's a long season. It's a long, rough season. So just being able to take care of your body and being able to stay ready, that's the biggest thing.
For sure. Mario, we're out of time, man, but I really appreciate you coming in. It's been fun. Appreciate you letting the fans get to know you a little bit.
Yes, sir.
It's been fun getting to know you a little bit from my perspective as well. And we appreciate you taking the time, and we'll be watching and pulling for you the rest of the way, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Again, that is Mario Anderson, South Carolina running back. This has been the Garnet Trust Hour on 107.5 The Game. Go on over to GarnetTrust.com if you want to find out how you can support student athletes like Mario and his teammates over at South Carolina, as well as other sports at South Carolina. Again, that is GarnetTrust.com. This is the Garnet Trust Hour, 107.5 The Game. Coming up next, we'll have the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour with myself, Tyler Head, and Chris Clark. Stay right there.